I've seen that there are a lot of complaints of people saying that recruiters are ghosting them in the DMs, and it's like you kind of broke down why you kind of are starting to understand it, and you were kind of touched on it. And I was reading, I was like, yo. And mind you, I'm a person, again, I have a bunch of friends that are recruiters, and so in my mind, I understand. And also having a relatively large following on social media, I understand how people can just think they're able to get all this access to you, and just so I would love for you to kind of touch on that, like some of your experiences, and then through that maybe we can navigate helping people find best practices on how to reach out and communicate with recruiters.
Yeah, so it's layers to why recruiters may ghost you.
It's levels to this.
It's levels to this. I'll go by part. So one of the reasons why a recruiter may ghost you is partly because if you reach out to a recruiter and the recruiter gives you advice, you have now adopted them as your personal recruiter. And that is a misconception for people who just ask recruiters advice. All of a sudden we've become their personal recruiter, which means there's a level of expectation that we now have to meet. So you're now asking me to meet your level of expectation and the level of the company that actually pays me. So you now want me to do something for you that you're not paying me to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's number one. Number two, a recruiter may ghost you because you may reach out to them and you haven't done not one bit of research. I have candidates reaching out to me all the time asking, do you have a job for me? And my question is always, did you look on the Microsoft website for opportunities? That is, if anybody DMs me,
tell them that.
You will hear Chenae say, have you looked on the Microsoft website for opportunities or job opportunities? Somewhere in that sentence, I'm going to ask that. And so I can tell by the question that you haven't looked.
Yes.
So
yeah,
for
of course,
me, if you haven't looked, we don't have nothing to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm not doing the work for you.
One of the things I try to communicate with people, and so part of the reason of Tech is the New Black is because I realized the position. It's like, okay, I'm telling people about these different tech boot camps, ways for them to get educated, blah, 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 blah. And what I realized is that, I know for a fact, there are a crap ton of people doing these boot camps, these programs. They're just breezing through the programs, not paying attention, and they're just
they're certified or they're done.
Yeah, and then they want to apply at these companies, and and one of the reasons for this is I'm like, man, I really want to help educate people further so that they're not playing their self. Especially, and Tech is the New Black isn't necessarily about people of color. It's people in general. It's people who feel like they might be the black sheep, where they might not fit in the tech industry. And it's like, no, the space is for you. Nevertheless, many people who do tend to look like us, like many of them are unaware of the opportunities that are in this industry, in this space. And on one end, some people lean to the extreme of what you were talking about, where some don't know their worth. They don't know what to ask for, even though it's like, no, you're worth, X, Y, and Z.
Sure.
But then others are the opposite extreme, where they're not really putting in much work at all to be worth anything. Yeah. So I'm like, I want to have something so we can kind of talk about this, educate people with certain things. But one of the things I've noticed is that it's like, some people are not very inquisitive. They're just solely like, instead of me going to the website, instead of me looking on LinkedIn to see what's open, I'm going to use you like your Google, or I'm sure Microsoft owns some search.
Bing.
They own Bing. They're going to go to you like your Bing. They're going to go to you like your Bing.
I got you, Microsoft. Don't worry about it. I got your back. Don't worry about it. Got your back.
Yeah, exactly. Gotta make sure we keep it all in the house. They're going to go to you like that and have you do everything. And it's like, you could easily just look here.
I will literally say, did you go to the Microsoft website and look? Or I'll go, did you look? That's literally, if me and you were talking, I will type, did you look?
Yeah.
If you say no, I will ignore you and go right to the next person. Because for me, it's, if you go on LinkedIn, you're going to get all of me. If you come to my house, you're going to get all of me. Yeah. If you come to a meeting that I'm conducting or that I'm a part of, you're going to get all of me. Yeah. Either way, you're going to get me. So the idea is, I want people to understand that you're not paying the recruiter to do the research. That costs time. It's management. It's organization. It's having to shoot you stuff that we also have to go into our applicant tracking systems and work for the companies that are paying us.
I was going to ask you about that.